Today, we are exploring a little bit of the intertidal zone near Ketchikan, Alaska. And the intertidal zone is an area that's underwater for most of the time except for at low tides. We have a 24-foot tidal range between low and high tide here in Ketchikan, and today is right at a -3 foot. So here are some sea cucumbers that live underneath our tidal zone. There's a limpet, the little one on the rock there, some tube worms, some red urchins. So there are a lot of fish that live in the intertidal zone, but also a lot of invertebrates, which is what we're mainly going to focus on today. So these are red sea cucumbers, and they're one of the most common animals in our intertidal zone. You can see their tubed feet that they have on them, and also their feeding tentacles. So they wedge themselves in between the rocks, and they use those branched tentacles to pull all the plankton that you can actually see in the water today towards their mouth, which is right in the center of those feeding tentacles. So this is one of the fish we're going to talk about today, which is a CO sole. And a sole is a type of flatfish, so it's related to a flounder, or here in Alaska, a halibut would be a bigger flatfish that we have. And this one's going to max out at about a foot long, so it's pretty full size here. You can see it has excellent camouflage because flatfish live on the bottom and they ambush prey above them, which is why its eyes are pointed up. So this is another red urchin, and then that's a giant gumboot chitin there. A couple more intertidal creatures. And then in the water today, we have a lot of tiny little creatures that are called pteropods. So you can see the little black dots that are kind of floating in front of the screen now. Pteropods are also known as sea butterflies, and so they are a swimming mollusk. And a mollusk just means that they have a hard shell and a soft body inside. So it's like a swimming snail, a couple jellyfish floating by. But pteropod literally translates to winged foot, which is how they get the name sea butterfly, because they look like little butterflies at the ocean. And they eat other small plankton, and then they're preyed upon by larger fish. So they're a huge part in the food chain of the ocean. So these guys are one of my favorites, and these are pinto abalone. And they're one of several species of abalone that can be found on the west coast of the United States. And they're also gastropods, so they have that one hard shell, so another mollusk. And gastropod literally means stomach foot. So they have a stomach and then a super strong foot. So you're going to be able to see how strong that foot is in just a minute or two. But you can see how they move across the rocks, and they feed on algae. So this is how that abalone uses that really strong foot that it has to completely turn over even in the currents. So these are purple urchins, and they're one of the biggest urchins in the world. One of the really cool things about them is
They only really have a couple natural predators, one being the sea otter, which we don't have any of here in Ketchikan. You can find them a little farther out because they were hunted for their fur. But because they don't really die naturally, they can live to like 300 years old. So they don't, if nothing kills them, they'll just keep living forever, which is kind of crazy. And so you can look up close to these and see that they can move each individual spine. And that's what this one's doing right here. And you can see they have different shapes of spines in there as well. And this one doesn't have any venom in its spine like some urchins do. So I can hold these. I just have to be really careful because it still hurts if you get completely poked by one. But I want to turn one over for you. I want to turn this one over for you so you can see its mouth down here. And you can see all of its little spines moving around. It's also got tubed feet in here that will move around and hold on to things. But they eat kelp and seaweed. So you can see it's been snacking on a little bit of sea lettuce there. But that's its mouth, and it's called Aristotle's lantern. It has 5 little mouth parts. Because this is an echinoderm, which means spiny skin, so you can definitely get that from the spikes that this one has. But echinoderms have divisions of 5 a lot. So like starfish have 5 arms, and they have 5 mouthpieces there.
So our next animal is a sea angel. And sea angels are a type of gastropod. So they have one shell, is what a gastropod is. But over time, sea angels have actually lost their shell, and so they still have that stomach foot, just like the abalone, but their foot is now used to help them to swim. So they're a free swimming snail, basically, with no shell. They're actually pretty similar to a squid, even though they're not directly related, and that they're really active hunters. But these guys are going to eat the sea butterflies that we saw, those little pteropods. And they actually shoot these tentacles out of their mouth and pull it in, just like you would think of a squid using their tentacles to fish with.